Domain to Profit. It is Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are together here for Domain to Profit. I already said that, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, that's okay, because we can just keep repeating Domain to Profit, because that's what we're here to do. Find domain names, expiring domain names that somebody is letting go and that we see as the diamond in the rough, that thing that we can build our empire on. So join me in that, because that's what we're going to be looking at doing. We're going to be going through some domain names. Make sure, as the chat says, say hi to everybody that's out there, because it's not just the guy on the screen. It is the community that is over on YouTube chat and our YouTube channel, because, hey, it's not just, it takes more than one person to look through all these domains. We got over 400,000 domain names that we're going to be looking through. So kind of a big deal. And how about this, peeps? It's week 95. Week 95 of Domain to Profit, the weekly live stream. So pretty excited about that. And we got some great domain names that we're going to see. I highlighted a few of them. Dash.com you're going to see today. Instantpayment.com, as well as updating you on a couple of the big ones that expired and the auctions went through last week. All that's going to happen today. So welcome to Domain to Profit. Say hi in the chat. Let everybody know you're here. Let them know maybe a project you're working on or where you're from. Make sure they know you're here. I'm Drew Walsh, Domain to Profit. See you on the other side.
From domain to profit, from a .com to a business idea. Take a domain name, develop an income from domain to profit. We'll show you how. Domain to profit, from domain to profit. Join Drew Walsh and get started right now.
All righty, party folks. Let me check over into Restream, see who all is here. See lots of familiar names, which 95 weeks that we've been at this. Kevin, I know you've made quite a few of them. Nice to see you here. Let's get it on for sure. Michael, who led the charge many weeks as the #1 commenter. Welcome, Michael, as well. Lee, also, I'm pretty sure out of those 95 weeks, both Michael and Lee together have reached probably 95% of them or so. And welcome, developers and non-developers. It's about the heart, Lee. It's about the heart. Do they have the heart of a developer, the heart of somebody that wants to take something and create it? And then let me see. Kevin's adding, not so much on the non-developers, though. Richest domains, welcome. Sorted by value and C-. Yes. As we get going on the filters, you'll want to make sure that you will sort those by valued for sure. And hi, everyone. Yes, welcome. Yeah, no doubt. 95. How does that happen? How weeks just fly by? It's crazy. Well, all of those over on LinkedIn and Twitter and all the other places that people join us at times. YouTube's a place to hang out with us. And we also, speaking of places to hang out with, we have some other place, a new place to hang out. We're trying to put this together. So this right here is the community.dtp.tv. Community, you can see that up in the URL up there somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Community.dtp.tv. And many of you have asked, hey, Drew, why don't you have a Discord? And to which I answer, I hate Discord. Which I do. I hate Discord. I'm not a fan at all. It just is too temporary. It's too much like a chat room. I want something to where the content can live on, to where the time you spend, the time I spend getting information together can live on past this moment. So we're trying something. It's called Circle, is the community. We're currently on a trial. We'll see if we make it on to pay, but there's a lot that we can do with this. So use your Twitter account, sign up over there. There's no charge. It's a free community. Will there be a paid upgrade at some point? Possibly, but hey, let's just one step at a time. One step at a time. So that is one of the things that's happening this week. So make sure you check that out. After the fact is fine as well. So here's where we're going to be spending most of our time. This is, say it with me, expireddomains.net. We don't own it. We just love it. And we are going to go, we are currently over on GoDaddy Expired Domains. And as I should put up down on the bottom down here, that's where you can go to get the information on filtering to do this right here. Boom. We're going to filter 44,440,000 domain names down to 84,000 domain names. So as you can see, we wiped out a big chunk. So if you're not sure what just happened there, make sure that you check out that URL, watch the video on how we set that up. That weeds out a lot of domain names that just won't make the cut. It's not going to make the cut, most likely. There's some good ones in there, but you got to dig through a lot of trash to find the good stuff. So here we are, 84,000 domains. We are going to go through this list, and you'll see up. And as who was that? Somebody had mentioned, was that Kevin? He said order by valuation, because yes, we need the order by valuation. What the heck does that mean? As I say every single week, valuation does not actually indicate the value of a domain name. If you want to believe that, you will go poor very quickly. The valuation is not the value of the domain name. It's just kind of something that lets you order it. It's an estimate some computers put together and said, hey, that's a pretty good one. Let's put a high number on it. So that brings us to the top of the list here. Thesell.com is what you should be seeing if you're following along exactly. And thesell.com is going to be a pass, but I do like seeing dashed.com. Dash.com. You know, when it comes to domain development, though, what are you going to do with dash.com? You know, it sounds like the past tense of like a DoorDash. What did you do with the, how did you get your food? Oh, I dashed it. The only thing is, in that context, you're going to be dealing with somebody's trademark, which don't do that. So for the most part, that domain name is going to fall in the idea of a brandable domain name. All domain names are domains that you can build on. They're all empty real estate. And a brand that you're building your enterprise on. The domain names that we try to spend our time on here are the domain names that are that plot of land that you can build on, yes, but instead we want to mine down into the authority, the validation of that domain name. And you'll see as we get into this a little bit, in fact, the next one we're going to talk about, this domain name has authority, it has validation, and so let's get on to it. The third domain name after dash.com is instantpayment.com. So here you go, instant payment. What do you expect to find on instant payment? What do you expect to be able to do with instant payment? Yeah, send an instant payment, right? So send, receive. This sounds like a major crypto play, in my opinion. The Western Unions and the MoneyGrams of the world are shaking in their boots because it used to be if you wanted to send money around the world, especially some people cultures, they send money back to their families in their home country. Very common practice. It's how Western Union and these other companies like MoneyGram, their entire enterprise, giant enterprises are built on this need. Well, instantpayment.com, maybe you put together a crypto option. You can go that route. You can go creating a third option to MoneyGram or Western Union. But here's that authority. If you run instantpayment.com, people hear it and kind of just know what that domain name is going to be about. That is the authority. That's just us mining the gold that's under the ground, mining into that domain name. We don't have to do anything with it. So let's go ahead and click it. And I also need to get set up on spyfoo.com. So this is probably going to require a login. If you think that I have my stuff together enough, I hit remember me every single time. It never remembers me. Anybody like the movie Coco? Remember me. Instant payment. So one of the tools that we use is this one here. This is spyfoo.com. You can use the free trial. I have a paid account, but here we go. Spyfoo.com. This allows us to get some insight. So I don't want you, just like I don't just trust my gut. I will go with my gut often. I'm an expert, been at this for a really long time. I think it's probably the first time I've ever called myself an expert. Anyhow. So, but what I like to do is make sure that I am checking a domain name out more than just my gut feel. If you go with your gut, you'll maybe right most of the time, but those few times you're wrong could cost you big time. So instantpayment.com, we have some keyword volume here, 180 searches, not really setting any records. But then we have some of these other similar keywords. sell gift cards, instant payment, sell gift cards online, instant payment. You can see some stuff. I know Matt in the chat is a huge fan of RuneScape. So there you go, RuneScape account instant payment. A lot of these things sound like scams. Sounds like people trying to get around and scam the elderly or something. So probably don't want to target some of these keywords, but maybe you do. Not to scam people. Don't scam. If you're a scammer, just get the hell off the channel. I don't want scammers. Okay, and I'll just talk. Speaking of Matt, the RuneScape fan here, make sure you like the video, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. You're welcome to the community. We're glad to have you. So 180 searches. Let's see what money we have, and this is what we like. This is that under the ground gold, the oil that's down underneath. We get to see it here. There are 15 advertisers that are looking to advertise for the keyword instant payment. 15 companies spending money right now to attack and advertise under this topic. That is where that gold comes from. It's not there just because it's like just sitting there stagnant. It's because all these other businesses, all these people are out there innovating, creating products and services that will benefit from instantpayment.com. 15 of them, in fact, average keyword 199 or 191. All those come together. The only thing is that's probably going to be on the cheap side. The keyword value kind of puts us in the vicinity of like, it kind of gets it to that $1,200, $2,000 mark for me to bid on this domain name. Maybe you can go higher, but as far as a domain developer, the value of the domain name has to come from data. Ideally, your gut can take it higher. Maybe your budget's higher. Maybe you want to take it up to 6,000, but man, it's a great domain name. Okay, we're going to move on. But there you go, instantpayment.com for all you crypto people out there. Maybe you want to go with that. And and Matt is sharing in the chat how to get away. If you've been watching, SpyFu does limit how many times you can use it for free. I think he's sharing how you can get around it. I'm not going to repeat that on the stream though. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that lower third down there. Mismatch.com, what a great domain name. That's a good domain name. Not sure what you do with it. Maybe create a kid's game. Back to life. Retards. I mean, these are fun domain names. I mean, just retards is not a good word anymore, right? I don't know if it was ever a good word, but you're not allowed to use it. It's like a cuss word. But if you wanted to do a non-PC NFT project or something, I'm sure that's going to go there. Tour Advisor. Let's see what the keyword data on that one is. And did I mention that this is instant payment over here? Instantpayment.com, currently $12.59 is what that's running, and that ends in 2 days if you're interested in getting involved in that one. Touradvisor.com, $119 currently, ends in 3 days. I have no idea what this one's going to be. Does anybody search for Tour Advisor? That sounds like a funky, I need somebody to give me an advisor for a tour. No, nobody's doing anything with this. Look at this data. Nothing happening down here. It sounds good, so it might give some validity to somebody that's running a tour company or something like that. I am touradvisor.com, but that falls in that brandable area. Probably worth a few $100, but not really bombing or jumping into where we're going. Eco cleaners, guessing that'll be a product play. So maybe you know somebody that sells eco-friendly cleaning products. I know Christy, who works with me, loves those non-chemical cleaners and things. So that would probably be that kind of thing. Let's click on it. Let's see what pulls up. I don't mess with products very often, but if you were to call places that sell eco-friendly cleaners and you said, I'm with ecocleaners.com, chances are it would sound pretty good. Now, it could be a play along the lines of if you're looking for somebody that does commercial cleaning or home cleaning using eco-friendly cleaners, eco cleaners could work for that. It's a little bit into that brandable side, meaning it doesn't really say what's on it. It could be a product, could be some services. You can play in that area, though, especially if you get it for pretty cheap. Let's check it into SpyFu because who knows, it might be a gold mine. $115 currently, ending in 4 days. And here we go. This is why we type it in, folks. Why we type it in. If we went with my gut, we would have not been looking this up, but this is the best one we've seen so far. So as you saw, that list is ordered by valuation. We looked at some domain names so far. They're good domain names, but realistically, they're no home runs. Instant payment, pretty darn good. So now we're to ecocleaners.com. My gut was telling me, it's okay. Now I'm seeing the numbers. I'm actually liking it quite a bit. 440 monthly searches. That's higher than what we were looking at for the other ones. And then over here on the side, in this middle similar column, you'll see the keywords that I love to see because they allow us to develop a domain name and be able to find lots of customers pretty quickly. And those are the keywords near me over here. So we have not just eco cleaners, we have eco cleaners near me, eco dry cleaners near me. You can target it on your ecocleaners.com domain name. Some others as well, not really high volume keywords, but they're pretty good. Like there's people looking for this, and I imagine it's only going to increase. Let's drop down here. We have a high cost per click, high cost per click. $200.84 is that cost per click. I like to see $2 or higher. The one thing we're lacking here is I like to see the advertisers at 10 or more. That puts blood in the water. It's like everybody's battling, looking for any advantage they can get. And that means that when you call them up and you're like, I'm on ecocleaners.com and I'd love to feature your company, they're like, woohoo, get me out of the bloody Google waters. I want to be on ecocleaners.com. So there you go. Ecocleaners.com. I like it. I'm going to give it probably a B+ if I had to grade it. I will be in on this one at least up to probably, I'll say I'm up to $900. I will likely go higher. That's one I got to think about a little bit. So that one's going to get added to my watch list. So there we go. Let's see here. And just tossing in, here's some of the stuff we got coming in from the community as well. Richest Domains adding that EcoCleaners is an age domain name, 20 years. Age domain sometimes helps with SEO. Also shows that it is a domain name that has been somewhat valuable for a long time. Somebody knew it was valuable 20 years ago, and it remains valuable is a little bit of what you can judge by that. Male enhancement pills. I bet you if you search that on SpyFu, I'm not going to, but if you do, it's probably going to have really high searches. I will let you know, though, that you cannot pay for advertisements in that field. There's just so many scams and stuff. So I'm going to bypass it. Good luck to whoever goes for it. I recommend you don't mess with it. Cloud payroll, not a big fan on it. Quick invest, I don't like quick. Quick's not a very good word. Very seldom do you want quick. You want instant. Instant is quick, but I like instant. I mean, instant or quick? If I had to put it up to a vote, I'm kind of curious. Instant or quick? Raise your hand for instant. Okay, now quick. Okay, instant wins. You all agree with me. That's good. Glad to know that. And in case you're not sure, I can't see you. Okay, incentiveprograms.com. Let's go with that one. These are okay. We're getting some. These are pretty good domain names. We don't control the inventory that we see on a weekly basis. Nobody really does. Just karma, just timing, whatever it is. Some weeks we get garbage domain names. This week we're grabbing some pretty good 2-word domain names so far. Incentiveprograms.com. We're going to grab those keywords, toss them over in SpyFu, dropping the .com because we own the .com. It'll be the .com. We just care about the keywords. 360 are the monthly volume. You'll notice over here, singular has 810. And wow. Okay. I'm not even sure what the hell an incentive program is, other than I assume it's a program that gives incentives. Yeah. Okay, well, 19 advertisers for whatever the heck incentive programs are. Cost per click for, I mean, this is a money domain name, just money. Like, I'm guessing this domain name is going to go for way more than what I could even imagine it going for. I don't even know what to build on incentiveprograms.com. What do you put on incentive programs? Well, when you don't know, what do? We go to the third column, the one right behind my head here. So let me get low. How would you assess? I'm not sure what that is. Which of the following characteristics of a nutrition service incentive program? What is the EHR incentive program? So what this column that I'm kind of covering here with my head shows is it shows the questions that people are asking with incentive programs in it. So in the case of this domain name, I have no idea what I would put on it. Like, I have no idea what I would build. I would probably build something that helps people find funding, help people find tax credits or grants or something along those lines. I have no idea though, but this column here is going to show you what people are asking Google in regards to incentive programs. So answer those questions or set it up to where your visitors or members can answer those questions. And now you have content for your site. The only thing is, connecting the content, the traffic with the monetization. I'm not 100% sure how that would work for incentive programs, but certainly a good domain name worth some money, worth some bidding. Open payment. I mean, that's pretty good too. Open payment. So that great domain names, the validation and the authority are domain names that paint a picture of what it has. What is going on? These are crazy. Look at this. Incentive programs, or programs. So both singular and plural. Some of these are going to start getting, we're going to start starring these. My hunch is these are all owned by the same person, and they are going to likely never make it to actual complete auction. Just a gut feel. I could be mistaken on that, but one of the things that happens, let me click on open payments. I'll pull this up. One of the things that does sometimes happen is people will let a domain name go through the expiration process, show up in auctions, and then they claw it back at the last minute. This typically happens when the registrar is not GoDaddy. GoDaddy tends to let the domain names go all the way through, and then the new owner is the new owner. But they also work with other domain registrars, which are the places you can get a domain name. And some of them tend to allow their renewals to happen right up to the last second. So in that case, that may be what's happening with these, because it seems like it's somebody's grouped portfolio, or maybe it's just all gone. Who knows? I'm not going to research that. That's a different show altogether. Openpayment.com paints a picture of a Venmo, right? Venmo is like, hey, this person sent this person money for this and things like that. Open payment, that's exactly what that sounds like. Like, this person sent this. Open payment being, again, I hate to bring everything back to the blockchain and crypto, but that's what it sounds like a bit. Like, it's open. You can see what's happening. Everything's right there for everybody to see. So there you go. I'm not going to dive into the keywords for it because I want to get, ideally, a little bit off of these payment domain names. Art project, I don't like. Well, you can probably guess off that. The word I'm not a fan of it. Going to skip it for that reason. Do not like the word the. Pet caskets? Yeah, that is like some Stephen King darkness there. People do that? People put pets in caskets? I'm sure they do. I'm not going to Google it. That just goes, yeah, there you go. If you're into that thing, go for it. That sounds like a weird play. Energy clearing. On the upside, I love phrases. You hear this from me all the time. If it's something that people say, it could be a good domain name to buy for the sake of like a marketing campaign, to associate a common phrase with a product or service. On the upside could be one of those. Not a fan of it though. Just too, I don't like 3 words. In fact, for the sake of this show, I'm probably going to take our filters down from 3 words. Right now, the filters are set to 1 to 3 English words. I think I may take it down to 2. I don't remember the last time I've seen a 3-word domain name that I'm like, yes, I got to get that. That 3rd word just like kills it. Add words, build, microwave. Breaktheinternet.com. Wasn't that like a Kardashian thing? Sweet and salty. I love sweet and salty stuff. Like sweet and salty trail mix with the little M&Ms and the... Okay. Get gardening. Get gardening, people. I like that domain name, by the way. My wife's a gardener. Maybe she wants it. Do you want that, sweetie? Just let me know. I can get it later. I can look at it. Find my store. I don't like the word my so much because we read domains as possessional. So find my, that would only be good if it was, maybe you ran a service to help people get their store local search. Could work for that, I guess. Reactively. Yeah, pet caskets. Like it brought me down, man. It just changed the entire mode, like the entire feel of the show changed when I read pet caskets. It's like, man, that's just dark. I guess I had some Stephen King stuff, man. Here we go. This is better. Adopt dogs, people. AdoptDogs.com. Ends in 2 days. Adopt dogs. I don't like the plural. It seems a little funky on the wording. Let's see how it goes when we type it into SpyFu. Adopt dogs. Oh, shit. Okay. That's actually surprising. So Adopt Dogs is 2,700 monthly volume. So the number of searches is higher than anything else we've seen today. The similar keywords, though, this is where we're going to do our Control F trick. And what this does is it allows us to see our keyword. So this is adoptdogs.com. We see some good monthly volume here, but the question is what can we target with this domain name? We have adopt dogs as this keyword. Does it give us other access to keywords? And the answer is yes. So this is actually pretty good. So you'll see up here, we don't really have our keyword up here in the right order. That's going to mean that it's going to be a little harder for you to target those keywords above. You can 100% target those other keywords. I mean, some of them are giant, but down here is where we get to our domain name, Adopt Dogs Near Me. If you're on the free version, you won't see that because I know they only show you like the first 5, but 23,000 searches for Adopt Dogs Near Me. It sounds a little funky. I'm not sure how I feel about the phrasing of it. Let's see here. We have 12 advertisers, but they're for cheap. So what that means is we're going to take that 0.5 times the number of searches, which is actually going to take that down to $500. Now that when you get into those lower numbers, what that means is you're going to be at the budget of the person that's bidding. When I go for a domain name, a lot of times I look at domain names and I have different ranges. I have kind of it's worth this amount. That's kind of like my 688 amount. So when I say, hey, I'll bid 688, what I'm saying is that domain name is worth at least that, and I want to make sure that it goes for that or higher. And I do that with 688, sometimes 888. But realistically, for almost any domain name that I really like 1,200 is kind of that, it's just in my budget. So even though this one would be under, like it maybe valued in that rough calculation of like the number of cents. So what I'm talking about here is this 0.52 times the point or the 2,700. That's going to put us around what, 700. $700 is kind of that value. That means that I would likely go with a minimum bid of 888 for me if I'm going to bid on it, which I may bid on this domain name, not 100% sure. And I share that anytime I share that I'm bidding on a domain name, doesn't mean not bid, like bid against me. I welcome you competing against me. Or if you want to, reach out on Twitter and we can chat about what our max bids are. I'm pretty wide open. If you are going to develop a domain name, I want you to have the domain name. I don't need more domain names in my portfolio. The reason why I would look at adoptdogs.com, which let me just summarize this real quick. Adoptdogs.com, ending in 2 days, currently $22. The reason why I would bid on this domain name is I own doggroomers.com, dogstores.com. I have none of them are developed yet, but as I know we are going to move that direction, it seems like I may be a good owner for that domain name, so I may consider it. So if you're looking at it, let me know. Magic Message, Data Seeker. Those are really fun domain names. Data Seeker, Magic Message. Sound like brands, but brands are fun. If you're a domain investor and not so much a developer, those are some of the domain names that if you can get them for $100, $200, you will be able to find a buyer for them as of some point. Florida County. What a fine asset that is. Grid search. It's one of those phrases that people search, or one of those things that people say, oh, we're going to do a grid search and have station 222 block off the east corridor, 3-mile radius, and we'll do a grid. Anyhow, I watch too much cop TV, I guess. Look at that. So one of the things that you do have to watch out for with these, the words are just grabbed out of expireddomains.net is just trying to, we say this almost every week, they grab the words and sometimes they proper case them incorrectly. So this straddle case that's happening, Vote Bloomberg is what that is. They have it as Vote Bloomberg. So it's a name. You'll probably want to avoid it probably, but that's what that's going. So you'll kind of want to watch out sometimes, pretty often. Like, I have no idea what this is. Medio limon. That might be a word. Anyhow, you do have to kind of pay attention to that sometimes. That's where a human is going to be better than, well, actually a human, I guess, could be more flawed than a bot or somebody that does not have to see the proper case. Quick escrow. See, there we go. We're back at, would you rather have instant escrow or quick escrow? Quick is a shorter word, which I usually tend to side on those. But again, we got that quick versus instant. I would probably prefer instant. And like quick, for some reason in my brain says it's just more scammy, right? Quick. Quick escrow. I don't know. Wow, we're not even through 200 domains yet. That I find surprising. Bringing my table up a little higher, hopefully not knocking over my lights. Okay, let's see here. See, I did raisehigh.com. I just had to raise I got one of those sit stand desks. It's below the camera, so you can't see it, but it was a little low. Trust Finder, that's not bad. I kind of like that as a brand. So as you see, the pace of things, it slows down as we get going. The number of, so over here, you'll see this valuation. We're no longer in those high numbers. We're down into the 2700s, which is where a lot of domains reside. When I'm not live, I will a lot of times take it down to $1,600 or so. But as you go down the list, it's going to get less and less. You got to weed through more and more garbage. That's how you can tell that, yes, the valuation is not accurate, but it does do a pretty good job of bringing the best ones to the top. So we're on to page 2. That means we got another couple hundred domain names. So what do we want to do? Let's see. Do we want to break for some updates? I usually do the updates at the end of the show. So I'll just say, yes, we'll do the updates at the end of the show. That's where I open up the hood and look through my Google. We will talk about like what did onsale.com go for. We'll share that high five-figure purchase last week. That was one of the domains we featured. And then my purchase of pianolounge.com, I'll share that as well, which I'm super excited about. I'm like a freaking kid with that domain. My wife plays piano. I do not, but there's a keyboard in my house, and I'm always like, I go down there and make crap up. Owning that domain name, pianolounge.com, which I got last week, is like, it may turn me into a piano player. Not a good one, probably. Maybe a good one. Who knows? If you're going to do something, might as well do it kind of good. Free blessings. There you go. I like that one. I'd much rather in blessings.com, but hey, you know, free blessings. Can I make it? Okay, I'm going to make it a freeblessings.com. I mean, that's not owned by the Catholic Church. I think theirs usually have a fee. Am I allowed to say that? Am I going to get tarred and feathered for saying that? Probably. That's okay. I don't like being politically correct, to be quite honest. If you know me in person, I make all kinds of just poor jokes. I filtered like that much for you. I filtered just that much. Just a little. Because sometimes it doesn't come through. Sometimes it's not obvious that I'm kidding. And sometimes people need to take a chill pill. But sometimes people, even if it is known as a joke, they take it personal. Like, probably wouldn't get along with me very well in life if you can't take a joke. Salesinners.com. Okay, let's dive into this one. This one feels like a pretty good one for localization, but the truth will only come out when we So salesinners.com ending in 6 days, $12 currently, and that means we have a minimum bid. $12 is the minimum bid, so do not bid on this domain name. Add it to your watch list and then bid the last 5 minutes of the auction, because any bid that you do on this domain name is it's going to let others know that somebody's bidding. So actually, let me talk about that 1 second. Here's what I'm talking about with that. Right now, we are ordered by valuation. And on this column, so we're at salescenter.com, this entire list can be ordered by number of bids. You see that here, just above my head, right up here? Okay, so you can order all these domains we're looking at by bids. You can also order by price. So that's right above my head as well. Now, when I say you should wait until 5 minutes left, what I'm telling you is people will come in here and order by bids. They will order by price. They want to see the things that other people are buying right on top of their list. Instead of valuation or in addition to valuation, that's what they order by. When you bid early on an auction, or if you bid something up early, all you are doing is yelling out to me and all the other domain name investors out there, hey, come look at this domain name. It might be something you missed. And I'm guessing you don't want to do that. That's why I say you probably want to wait until 5 minutes left before you bid on an auction. You don't want to do it all the time. It is inconvenient, but something you can do. What you're trying to do there is reduce the number of people that know about the auction. In this case, Sales Center, we're talking, it's second page of a long list. It can be missed by people. And you realistically probably want to miss this one. As you can see, we don't have any advertisers. No cost per, minimum cost per click. Minimum traffic, we're down below 20. So we're talking really low stuff. We'll do the quick. We just did the Control F option, and you'll see there's really nothing going on for Sales Center. So I'm not digging it. There's a chance, went with my gut, and it is a stinker. So we're going to pass on Sales Centers. Hey, you can still do something with it. Like if you know what a sales center is or want to define what that is, then go for it. So I got a couple tis. All right. Richest Domains gave me a tis tick. I'm not sure which one. I'm sure that's for my joking. Yeah, anyhow. I'm sure my wife's up there going, oh boy. Gift magazines. Code picker. Volume. Okay. I'll stop. I try not to read them out loud. Yeah, and this is Richest Domains is he's saying that you can order by cost per click too. Not sure if that would be helpful. Does that still work? Does that, like, there for a while, I thought that Expired Domains said that they were not going to have access to that data anymore. So I don't include it on it, but essentially you can control the columns that you see. So the columns that you see on this list behind me, you can add in other columns and sort by them and so on. You're probably going to, like, I've not found sorting by cost per click to be all that great. What is typically the highest cost per clicks go for some of the lowest keyword volume, but it's an option. Order by all this stuff. Try it out. See what you get the best domains for. This column here, which at the top of it is the number of top level domain names that this domain name is registered in. So some of the best domain names you will notice are registered in double-digit top-level domains. So that's like .com, .net, .org, .s, .us, whatever, .horse. There you go, Lee. That's for you. So .horse, like there's all kinds of other extensions other than .com, and if it's registered in a bunch of other ones, you can be pretty sure that it should be registered in .com. So you can kind of use that as an indication as well. In GoDaddy is the ones that we're searching through right now. These are all GoDaddy domains. GoDaddy is the one that provides that valuation number. So you won't have that with other lists, which there are other lists that we can look at. It's just so many good ones are typically under here, so we just stick with this. I'm lazy. You don't have to be lazy though. There's NameJet, Snap Names. There's some under Dropcatch. All at the top. Let me actually move. I'll open up another window real quick. Hopefully I'm not going to crash my laptop. So when you go to Marketplace Domains here, and then all of these here are other places you can buy domains. So in most cases, they're smaller domain registrars, so they just won't have the volume that GoDaddy has. But that doesn't mean anything. That might just mean more opportunity for you. So Dropcatch is one of the services that I check usually on a weekly basis. There's just not that many, but there are some on there. They usually go for higher than what you'll find on GoDaddy. So you can check and play with these other ones as well. For this show, we tend to stick with GoDaddy, again, because I'm lazy. You don't have to be lazy, though. Realistically, what do they say? The early bird gets the worm, and the domainer that looks through more lists finds more opportunities. They don't say that. I just said that. I just made that up. Put on a t-shirt. Okay. Express Directory sounds like a project. Want to talk? Want to talk? That's, let's check that out. That falls under that brandable type thing, but that's a phrase, right? We say that. Hey, you want to talk? Want to talk? Want to talk? Like, that's one of those marketing type phrases. Want to talk. I could see this being In fact, if you see down behind me, over on this side, here, so this little chat thing is pretty common. There's all kinds of different on-website chat options. Wannatalk.com sounds like it should be a web chat, right? It sounds like you should be able to, put one of these things on it. And wannachat.com is a customer service chat for a website. So that's one of the things you can do with that one. Want to talk about, or just build a website to do what this is. Look at these searches. I want to talk about race. Want to talk about, I guess maybe it's a book. So what are people asking about it? Well, there you go. You can build a website out on, you want to talk about tough subjects. It doesn't always have to be about money. This could be a major social project under wanttotalk.com, or it can be that product, like that SaaS product I was talking about. I'm going to mark that. I kind of like that domain name. Not great for the purpose of failed to add to watch list. Love you, GoDaddy. Okay. So I'm going to add that here. Where was that? wanttotalk.com. That means almost make the cut. Let me toss this up on, because I agree, Lee's bringing up a point that I make many weeks that it's really important to know. There are so many names that almost make the cut, but miss by having an extra S or a word in reverse order or something. Those are the near misses. Those are those close domains. You will go broke if you register domain names that are close. You can't do it. There's so many domain names that are so close to being great. And it's unfortunately one of those things where if you go and register a bunch of domain names, there's always going to be so many domain names out there that you read it and you're like, oh, that's genius. That's the greatest domain name. Well, it's almost the greatest domain. That is the point that you run. You got to run from those. You'll end up with a portfolio of failure domain names. And yeah, you're not a failure. I believe in you. I know you can do better. Don't go for the almost domains. I promise you, if I was looked at my domains, I have a lot of them still from back in the day when I was learning that lesson. Like, what is an almost domain name? What is a really close to being a good domain name? And you live and you learn. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to learn. If you can kind of just figure it out by experience, figure it out by Lee sharing and us talking about them on here, call them out in the chat. Call them out in the chat. If you're not sure and you're just kind of wanting to check, others in the chat can share with you what they think about it. If I see it as well, I can bounce it off. It's really important to just kind of know that a close domain name, if it doesn't ring perfect, you have to ignore it. Take chances. Just make sure they're really good chances. There's opportunities out there, and one of the things that happens a lot of times, I do this. Maybe you do this in. I used to play maybe like online poker or. I remember what it was. It was in quotes. I used to do manual quotes, and if you mess up on a quote and you think, oh, I quoted that one too low, and then you go to the next one and you quote that one too high because somehow it makes up for the old one, the one that you went too low on. It doesn't. They're all independent, just like all these domains are independent. Just because you think it is a good domain name and you pay too much for it, it's sunk costs. You've lost. That domain name, boom, get rid of it, move on with your life. Not a perfect analogy by any means. It went off the rails a little bit, but point being, do not go for, don't fall for it. If I see one that I really think falls in that area, we can, I almost don't even see them. I just let them pass by. If you see something I'm passing by, always you can yell it out in the chat. I try to pay attention as best I can. I got a screen over here that shows me some chat. I got the main screen right in front of me. So That is for you to be able to bounce off of. And as well, we have the community.dtp.com, and that's domain to profit, dtp.tv, sorry, .tv. It's one of the few domain names I own that's not .com. But community.dtp.tv is another place you can feel free to ask. Me and others can answer. We're getting the band back together. Okay, we are down into the last 10 minutes, so I'm going to do 1 or 2 more page downs and we're going to move on. I'm going to show you the GoDaddy prices and so on. Next Gen Trucking. Come on, last one. Let's see. 89 coins. You know, something like this would be fun. Like, this is the kind of domain name witchgift.com. This is kind of an interesting one where this might be just like almost a fun project to develop out. Believe it or not, yes, that's a thing. You can do things for fun and maybe to make some money, but you can learn on something like this. Currently $12, ending in 2 days. Witchgift.com. This could be either a social experiment or something to help you decide, hey, I need to get somebody a birthday gift. And, well, you know, which one should I get? Which gift? And you put them up on a screen. Maybe you let your friends vote, or maybe you build a tool that allows them to, you know, look at star ratings or reviews or something to compare and help them decide which gift. So that's currently $12, ends in 2 days. Again, don't bid until the last minute. But that one probably will go for cheap. And if you're looking for your first development, just something to play around with, that's a pretty good domain name for it. I am not going to bid on it. So there you go. Yes, I did another page down. I'm an overachiever. How I roll. So first thing first, let me summarize real quick the domain names that we went through. We just talked about witchgift.com real quick. Then we got wanttotalk.com. I like it as maybe a SaaS, a chat type thing. See, once again, look at this. GoDaddy right over here behind me. Oh my goodness, I can't figure it out. Okay, well, they have a contact us. They wanttochat.com. So a tool that you can do with that. Sales Centers was a dud. I'm actually going to get rid of that one. AdoptDogs.com. I'm probably going to bid on that one a little bit. Ends in 2 days, currently $22. OpenPayment.com, one of those blockchain type things, incentive programs. The numbers were through the roof. It actually looks like a really good domain name. And if you recall, we also saw the Singular is also coming up for auction. We'll see if they actually go all the way through or not, but we'll find out. Then we have EcoCleaners.com. I enjoy that domain name. Have it on my watch list. Likely going to put some bids in on that. Tour Advisor, and I think it's a dud. Evidently, the 76 visits and so on. Think otherwise. Instant Payment, probably my favorite one that we had on the day, but you can tell that based on the current volume and the current bid. A lot of people like it as well. So let me go to try to log into my auctions because it appears that the GoDaddy bug, whatever that was, logged me out. Even though I was active, not sure what that was all about. Okay, so back to the screens here. So last week we looked at pianolounge.com. The numbers were bad. Like the numbers pretty much said do not buy pianolounge.com, but I bought it for $16.26 last week. I love it more out of passion than anything else. As I shared, I always look for like a Howl at the Moon piano bar type thing. Pianolounge.com. Got it for the love of it. You can do that too. Get it for the love. Get it for the love. I don't believe, oh, here we go, websitemonitor.com. I was in on that auction. It ended up going for $7,600, $7,630. That was one of the ones last week as well. Embroidery software, remember that one? I really would have loved to have gotten that one. I got distracted. That one went for $610. And then also the one that I was not in on but went for big money was onsale.com. Onsale.com went for $77,500. Not on sale. Not on sale. So, and see here, Matt shared out the link, which it is here. It's community.dtp.tv. Hey, you can sign in with Twitter. You can sign in with whatever. but we'd love to have you. This is going to be where we're just testing it for a few weeks, maybe a month. I'll probably do a paid account. This is going to be where we start to gather things and be able to chat and have conversations very much in public at first, but we will probably put up some walls to have some conversations. The conversations like maybe there will be something there to where you can have access to what my top bid is on some domains, as well as possibly other community members can share what their top bids and so on. We can start to really come together as a community. And of course, we can also start to show domain names that maybe we have for sale or that we are developing and start to support each other more than just on a Monday at 3 p.m. So there you go. And yeah, hashtag not Discord. I'm not a Discord guy. I'm sorry. I'm just not young enough. I'm just too old for Discord. I hate it. I find it a way, it just keeps beeping at me and like freaking forget Discord. So we're going to make our own thing over on that Circle, the Circle app. We'll pay for it. I'd much rather pay and have a better community than the one that Discord would provide for free. So, oh yeah, there you go. And that is over here, by the way. I'll share it out. This is the community that we're talking about, domain to profit community.dtp.tv. I'll set up some other URLs as well so you can get to it. Currently, there's not a link on our homepage, but we will get one. I just figured I'd mention it. This might go away, just so you know. Like, we might not keep this, but for now, it checks out. It checks a lot of the boxes I have for what I want. We'll be able to have discussions. We'll be able to have conversations weekly about the show that we did. We'll have it in one place. So I like that. So there you go. And as you can see right there on the front thing, what are you working on? I want to know what projects you're developing, because that is one of the important parts of this show. This is domain to profit. This is domain development. We're not just taking domain names and selling them. We are taking domain names, developing them into properties, into business, into enterprises, into cool little projects that bring value to the world and use domain names the way they should be, which is as a developed project. I'm passionate about it. I hope you are too. And if so, you're in the right place, because this is Domain to Profit. I'm Drew Walsh. I will see you next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here, the same place, same bad channel. And we will be talking about next week's expiring domain names, as well as checking in on some of the domain names we looked at this week. Until then, see you on the community and see you next week. Take care.